what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Master Blend Nation, your man is back in the house. That's right, Ronald Simmons from Master Blend Family Farms made the trip to the Mesh Studios in Hickory for this special episode of our Carolina Pitmaster series. Thanks to our partnership with the Carolina Barbecue Festival, we get to welcome him in fine fashion, and he rewards us with some great details about his farming business and his rapidly growing media empire. He also gives us a big reveal for what he'll be serving at this year's festival, April 6th in Charlotte's Victoria Yards. I promise you don't want to miss it. Get your tickets while they last at carolinabbq.org, and you'll sample Ron's Barbecue Delight as well as all the good stuff from 15 other pitmasters. Ron's got a story to tell both in our conversation and in his other media adventures. Be sure to check him out at masterblendfarms.com. Find him on Instagram under Master Blend Family Farms, and you definitely want to see his YouTube channel. Again, that's Master Blend Family Farms LLC. You can see Ron in action all around North Carolina, and you might even see some video from his visit to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. That's a visit we're excited to share with you right now.
Oh, yes, magic in the making.
All right. We're so excited to have Ronald Simmons back with us from Master Blend Family Farms on the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Ronald, welcome back.
What's happening, Big Mike?
Man, so excited to have you. And today we've got a super special episode. It's going to be live from the Mesh.tv studios. And I got to say, Ronald, I rolled out the red carpet for you, my man.
Hey, bro, you crushed it. Everything is immaculate in here. The sausage rolls are bussin'. I love the flavor in them. The mac and cheese from Keith Hennings. Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, let me just give it a quick rundown. And first, let me say, we don't do this for everybody, Ronald. Now, you're so special to us that we wanted to do that for you. But I've got Chigger's Own Chicken with Buxton Hall rub. Elliot Moss was the man for Buxton Hall for many years, so I got his special rub on the chicken. Okay. I've got Keith Hennings macaroni and cheese, his special recipe from Black Powder Smokehouse. I've got none other than Master Blend Family Farms sausage rolls. Now, I don't know that I did it as good as your daughter does, but I think it passes. And I've also got Benny Wafers from Hannah Raskin shared those with us. She's the creator of the food section, and that is none other than Miss Emily Meggett's special recipe from Gullah Geechee Home Cooking. She's the queen of Edisto Island. These are her cookies, and again, I'm sure they're not as good as hers, but hey, it was my first time trying to bake something, Ronald.
Hey, bro, it was spot on. Give me the magic.
All
man.
right, for sure. Yeah, well, hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but we're going to jump into the podcast now. Big thanks to all those folks. I'll remind everybody, the recipes for these food items you can find on the Low and Slow blog at lowslowbbqshow.com. But right now, it's Ronald Simmons on the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. And Ronald, just to remind our audience, where are you from and how did you get into smoking meat low and slow?
Oh, man. So, look, we come from Duplin County, stomping proud, man. It's Kenansville, North Carolina doing it. And I'm just a chip off the block. So my grandparents, I watch them and I'm just trying to take it one notch up. You know what I mean?
Sure. And your grandparents did it. I can remember you telling us that whole hog style and now you're into the farming business. How did you get into the farming and which came first, the Pitmaster or the pig farmer?
Yo, so I definitely have to say that the farm is what spawned everything.
Okay.
I learned a lot of lessons out there, a lot of cool lessons, and then I learned how to step my level up a little more as I continued meeting different pitmasters. So it's been pretty cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to talk about the pigs and the pig farming because we've talked a little bit about your pitmaster. Tell me about your pigs. What are you raising out there at Master Blend?
So out there at Master Blend Family Farms, we have the Durocs, the Berkshires, and the Chester Whites. The Durocs is the signature that we always use for like our logos, the mascot. That was the genetics that was necessary in order for us to do the farming. Dad, he's like, listen, if you're going to have hogs, they got to be Durocs. So we got a few of them red ones out there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what do you enjoy about the pig farming?
What I enjoy now about the farm is being able to go out there, get the work done, and just watch the sunset.
Yeah.
We were out on the farm yesterday, man, and we were wrapping up, getting everything rotated. Spring is getting ready to break, so we're getting ready to shift them to open pastures and let the other stuff regenerate. And then we're also getting ready for the gestation period for some of the sows. So it's pretty cool. I love the most the relaxation out there when the sun's setting.
Yeah, nothing quite like working hard all day on the farm and then looking back at what you did and enjoying the sun coming down.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, well, tell me, I know you're animal welfare approved, and that's an important part of the farm. What does that mean?
So being animal welfare approved basically means that we raise the livestock with no growth hormones or steroids.
Mm-hmm.
They're out on open pasture, so it's a term we use called free range.
Okay.
That's basically where they have an overwhelming amount of vegetation. They can graze, and then basically it's a cycle from one season to the next. So you're letting that piece of area drop and regenerate, and you're putting them on something that's already flourishing and ready to go.
Okay. What kind of vegetation are you on? Are you having to rotate those types of crops, or is it just a ryegrass, or what are you doing with the vegetation?
So basically with the pasture, you'll look at like radishes, you'll look at different oats. Some of them are wild, clovers. All of that stuff is what helps enhance the marbling into the meat and how they're raised.
Yeah.
So like when we get these 1.5-inch sliced pork chops, you got nice marbling. When you slap it on the grill, you put a nice sear on it and let it just sizzle, and their aroma spreads into the neighborhood. And then you got magic when it's time to plate it. You
got all your neighbors coming over for pork chops is what you got, right? Well, tell me, that's a couple of the little tips in the animal welfare piece and the rotating the crops that they're eating on. But what do you feel like sets your pork and your farm operation apart from similar business? And I know there's a lot of hog farms down east. So how are you guys different?
I think what has been able to make it different for us is just being able to get out in different settings and to talk with farmers and hear their sides of how agriculture is. And so farming is a community. So basically you're learning something from your neighbor. Your neighbor may learn something from you. With me being, a rookie still, I'm 12 years in the game. But, the people that I look up to, they're 30, 40 years in the game. So what I'm becoming exposed to, they've already known. And so they share some insight with that.
Do you feel like they're selfish with that insight, or are they just trying to help another guy out?
No, bro. So the cool thing about the farming community is it seems like where we're from, everybody's lending a helping hand to give you a leg up. It's been super cool, and you'll notice different components or different aspects from the industry as a whole. But it's like any of the technology just available on one spectrum of it. It's easy to get it whenever you have a network, so you're always growing your network.
Yeah, cool. Network's definitely important. Well, we had you on the show here back at the end of 2023, and I know you've had some things going on since our last conversation. First of all, tell me about the Best of North Carolina showcase for the Council of State Governments. Wow. Tell me, what was that all about, and what was it like kind of being there with the big wigs of government?
So we'll do it like this. Shout out to all of the farmers, the producers, the commodity specialists that were involved with that project. I think it's been phenomenal. It's resonated well with the Council of State Government. Basically what we were doing, we had constituents from all over the country coming to Raleigh, and we wanted to give them an experience of what they could see as far as ag is associated, even down to seafood.
Yeah.
So shout out to Cast Iron, Southern Breeze Seafood. They've established a reputation for always rendering fresh seafood, right? And we were able to cook the swordfish, the bacon wrapped scallops. We were searing them, and then we were plating them and putting out there for everybody. And I think it went very, very well. Everybody seemed pleased about it.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Master Blend gang for pulling it together. They always represented it. Was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. How much time do you spend trying to prepare for a big event like that?
So with that one, it was crunch time. So we only had about 2 months to prepare for that.
Okay.
And with it being short notice, we were basically able to reach out, call in some favors. Everybody felt good about it. And shout out to my dude, Matt. So Matt, he was like one of the key components for facilitating it from the department side. So it was super cool, man. But yeah, the team pulled it together, and everybody that attended, I think they had a blast.
Yeah. Well, so what are some other things you've been up to in the last 3 or 4 months?
Oh, bro. So it's been crazy. So we got a call recently from the gang for the smoke sheet. So we're going to be building something together with them in Charlotte in a couple of weeks. Shout out to North Carolina A&T. So they've made us the headliner for North Carolina Small Farms Week. Greensboro, North Carolina, March 27th. Cooperative Extension, love you guys. A&T, Aggie Nation, love you guys. But then we also have a guest appearance at Cast Iron Kitchen in Porter's Neck next week. So that's going to be hot. That's beers, bourbons, and barbecue. Shout out to Chef Petty. He just had a nice appearance with Guy Fieri.
Right.
And we're going to go down there and bring a little magic to the Porter Neck area for everybody that attends, man.
Yeah, fantastic. A lot of exciting things going on. Don't know really how you get it all done, but I know that the sponsors are a big part of that. So tell me about your sponsorship partners. I see you got Kubota and Kingsford. How do you get involved with those guys, and how important are they to your success?
So the importance of the relationships with those brands are phenomenal. We just wrapped up a cool demonstration with Kingsford, bringing families together over fire with food in Durham at the headquarters. It was insane. So that video is about to drop. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dude, Paul. He's always putting the magic together. But, with Kubota and with Kingsford, what resonates with us and our relationship is they're always bringing quality and putting that ahead of everything else. So whenever we're able to grab the charcoals, the briquettes, or if we grab the pellets in the smoker and we get it there, we know that we're going to get a nice sear when we get the temp where it needs to be. When it comes to Kubota, they're always keeping us with reliable equipment.
Sure.
So, you're on the farm, you got to move trees that might have fallen. You go ahead and get in that M65.
Yeah.
And, bro, you snatch a chain to it, you can make it happen. So shout out to them. We would not be where we are had it not been for the relationships with them.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, and you're talking to a Kingsford lifer. I've always used it. I only use it. None of the match or the gas-fueled stuff. Just pure Kingsford. That is where I'm at. Since I was a little kid, my dad used Kingsford,
That's right.
He put it on the grill. He built the little pyramid, and he got it lit up. Now we're moved on to the chimney, so we've advanced a little bit to that. But always fooled with Kingsford and love that. So also want to talk about another one of your sponsors, and I know he's important, Jack Nails and the Dynamic Duo. So remind our audience how you got connected with Jack and started touring the state and visiting businesses and spotlighting what they've got going on.
So the cool thing about Jack Nails, he's a big mentor to me. With the agency that we collaborate with Jack, he's always willing to get on the road and boogie, right? I met him about 10 years ago, and literally the first time I saw him, I was like, the energy coming off of him, I was trying to pick up. I was trying to learn.
Yeah.
And so anytime that we go anywhere, I'm always trying to have him with me. And look, and I'll cover lunch just so I'll have some time with him where I can learn some of what's going on and how to move when it comes to corporate America. So that dude, he's amazing. Shout out to Jack Nails. You are amazing. And again, when it comes to him, like, we don't even plan the schedule of where we're going.
Okay.
We hit a city and he's like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, bro, let's go eat. He's like, cool.
For sure.
And it happens like that. So last weekend we were at Noble Smoke down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And watching their smoke room, watching the team, bro, incredible. They got a lot of nice stats.
Yeah.
Talk about, shout out to Sweet Lou, my dude. Shout out, bro.
Yeah, Sweet Lou's and Lewis Donald, definitely. Well, so, and he's with Jack's with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture, and I know that it Got to Be NC is a big part of that. So, what is the Got to Be NC program?
So the Got to Be NC program is something that I've had the privilege, the honor to be associated with. And what we do is you have some superheroes that are in this agency. Their goal is to go across the state of North Carolina and highlight producers and highlight anyone that's making a big impact in the industry, from agribusinesses, from products that's made in North Carolina, wines. Like, it's the elite of the elite.
Sure.
And the cool thing about the team there is that they're always figuring out ways and resources that'll be beneficial to your farmers of all sizes, from all walks of life. And so to be associated with them and to be like one of the guys that's trying to contribute to the movement that the impact that they're making in North Carolina, it's like a big deal. Commissioner Troxler, shout out to him as well. Very phenomenal young man.
Yeah, definitely. So again, Batman and Superman, the dynamic duo, they're going all over the state. Some promoting the Got to Be NC program. When you go to a restaurant, you said you don't give them. Do you give them a heads up, any kind of warning, or you guys just roll in 3 or 4 deep with the cameras rolling? How do they respond to that?
So with any time that the cameras are going, we do go ahead and try to lay out an agenda, and get all their approvals and get all the stuff signed. But basically what we try to do is highlight when it comes to these restaurants, places that we've never been to, we try to make all of our followers aware, hey, man, we're in this city, we're going to eat at this restaurant. What you think about it, come check it out. And, basically it's just our way of contributing to the culinary scene, getting any exposure to any of the restaurants that want that attention. And, the goal for us is when we go to these different restaurants, these different brands and business owners, as we continue to climb in success, we want to take them with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if people ask, hey, where's a cool place to eat, man? Look, North Carolina, baby. We got all the nice barbecue joints. You want to check us out.
Yeah, for sure. And now, so I got chicken and mac and cheese and sausage rolls and cookies but I don't want everybody rolling up into my house. This is just for Ronald and his friends, and the Low and Slow Barbecue Show guests.
Wait, you don't want to open up a drive-through on the side of the house, bro?
Boy, I got my hands full. My hands are full of other things, although I know some people.
Yeah.
But if I'm a business, is there a way for me to get on your agenda coming around?
Absolutely. So if you're wanting to be on the channel, first and foremost, with Got to Be and See, you need to be a member.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that you're tapped in, and we're making sure that your profile is set up nice, where when people are interested in your product and your services and what you do, it's easy to find you. So make sure you have a website, and make sure you have some type of content going through your social media channels. From that, it goes into the process of just putting it into the schedule. And so when we dial it into the schedule, so I personally stay booked like 6 months out.
Wow.
Right. And I have to do that to give everybody the attention that they deserve when we initiate the process. Right. But in saying that, any of the events going on across the state with the agency, it gives you the opportunity to be right up close and personal with potential buyers. Right. The flavor showcase that was in Concord last week. These businesses that may not have had the platform, you can get a competitive price. You go there, it's at the Embassy Suite, and bro, it's like over 140 vendors last week in front of big brands, big names, big buyers that's looking for that next hot thing to bring into their retail space.
So it's your chance to get your product into stores, restaurants, big name businesses.
Yes, sir. Big names.
Yeah, cool. So let's take a little bit of a turn. You mentioned Sweet Lou and Louis Donald, and I want to talk about the Carolina Barbecue Festival. How did you get hooked up with those guys?
Oh man, so look, from day one when I met Sweet Lou, it came through a relationship with Brian Furman. So Brian Furman is one of the kings in the ATL when it comes to barbecue. And so I connected with Brian, and we were jaw-jacking about different things that were happening in the season. And he was like, hey man, you need to check out my man Sweet Lou. So I was like, well, bro, before I go check out Sweet Lou, we got to go dive into his restaurant, see what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And so I ordered the brisket. The boss lady ordered the chicken. She's like, oh, my God, his chicken is crazy.
Right.
And so then we started exchanging contacts, and I was like, yo, bro, do your thing. You know what I mean? I just want a picture with you. And he was like, yo, bro, we can do better than a picture, man. Jump on board. We get this Carolina Barbecue Festival thing popping off. And so from there, man, it's just been, he'll call, hey, I got this idea, what you think? And I'm like, yo, bro, I love the idea. Let's tweak it a little bit. He's like, bet, let's make it happen. Yeah. And so with Brian in the mix, with Garen in the mix, with Keith Hennings in the mix, and Sweet Luke, bro, like it's just magic upon magic, man. Yeah,
and it's growing every year. I know they've got some other guys. Brandon Shepard was down there last year. He'll be back again. Elliot Moss is coming, as well as Jake Wood. All these guys we've talked to, and we're going to have them on the podcast as well. Super excited to have them around. It's just a cool thing. And again, it's another opportunity to kind of put a spotlight on, North Carolina products. Now Brian and Jake and some of those guys, Dylan, they're in South Carolina, but again, there's North Carolina products involved.
Yeah, we'll see. I love, so Lou and his team to be able to come up with an idea and it resonated with the city of Charlotte, but then the actual mission. Barbecue Relief, like that's a phenomenal organization that has been able to make an impact for individuals across the country, right? And I love the presence that's felt, as they go from state to state. It's like you always have those stakeholders in the barbecue industry that's standing beside the barbecue relief movement, man. So shout out to that gang for pulling that together.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Scott Jarrett and Hickory is part of that Operation Barbecue Relief, and they do a regular thing at Hickory Soup Kitchen. Had Stan Hayes, the CEO. We had him on the podcast. Oh, wow. They've got some super cool things going on at their Camp OBR there at the Lake of the Ozarks. So, that's part of it too, really supporting, the barbecue for a cause. And of course, there's Folds of Honor and Hungry Heroes as well. But what's it mean to you to be able to support these things?
Well, for us, it's always big. You never know how far your effort goes, right? So the cool thing is if you're making an effort and you collaborate with individuals that are already ahead of that movement, then it makes it that much more heartfelt, if you will. And so I've always loved all of the charitable ideas that come with the organizations we work with, because it allows us to make a bigger impact overall, right? And I look forward to seeing what is to come when it comes to the barbecue relief team, man. They're doing the big thing,
Man, they got something cool this year. April 5th and 6th is the festival. And on the 5th, the Barbecue Relief Gang and the Hungry Heroes, they're going to make the food for all you Pitmasters.
Bro, I saw that.
Yeah. And then y'all got to work Saturday, but Friday, it's food night. There's going to be music, They're going to be serving it up to you. Tell me, what is Master Blend Family Farms going to bring to the barbecue festival this year?
So we're getting a little wild with it this year. We're going to do some Canadian bacon wrapped chicken breast, right? And so basically what that looks like is we're going to go ahead and smoke it over the charcoal, the Canadian bacon, put the wrap on it with the toothpick.
Ooh.
But then we're going to take it over the top with that kakalaki barbecue sauce. So shout out to Paige and the team, man. Love what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
man.
love the kakalaki sauce too. That's another favorite of mine. I like to make my own cheerwine variety.
Yeah.
It's a little bit off of theirs. I like to have a little more spice in mine, but love the kakalaki sauce. Not sure about the gold, but the regular kakalaki is definitely worth it.
Hey everybody, John Reep here, and I'm with Lauren Weaver of the Hickory Smokehouse, and we have partnered up and we have come up with what we think is the best barbecue sauce in the world. It's called John Reep's Hickory Smokehouse South in Your Mouth Barbecue Sauce. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to what other chefs are saying. So this holiday season, reap the benefits, sop it up, let your taste buds rise again, and put a little South in your mouth.
We got it in hot, too.
Yeah. Thanks, Lauren.
That. Now,
yes.
I want to take you into secret time, and we've talked about all these recipes we've got before us here, but I want to talk about Ronald's secret. What time do you wake up every day to get all this stuff going?
Yo, so typically 3:30, 4 o'clock. That's when I'm moving.
That's
man.
Farmer wake up time. So that's about average.
And I feel like if I'm moving at that time by 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm already ahead of everybody that's waking up at 7 and 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when do you go to bed? How much sleep are you really getting?
I sleep early, yo. So folk don't be understanding. I typically go to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It depends on if the boss lady has missions for me, right? So each day I get an assignment checklist of things I need to get accomplished, and basically what I do, if I can get it knocked out on the farm end by 6:30. Yeah, by 7:30, quarter to 8, I'm lounging for a second, just
lounging and then head to the bed.
Yeah, looking for
How
the next
often
move.
are you sitting there either gawking at the TV or something else? You're sitting in your recliner and before you even get to the bed.
Most of the time I don't. A lot of times I'm always thinking about the next move, right? So a lot of things that we've been able to accomplish, I'm super grateful for. But my imagination goes wild when we see what we just accomplished, right? So figure being able, I think last week we were in Durham, we were able to cook for Kingsford, the leadership team. So that's 250 plus members from the organization. And we're able to give them our personal side of what it means to be smoke and fire and food. And after accomplishing that, the team, they come together, they high five, and Sarge, Mr. Matthews, the ladies, Miss Treese and Mom, they all come together, they high five. And whenever the momentum shifts off, I'm thinking, yo, what's the next move? How can we do this again?
Yeah.
Times 2. And so I stay plugged in like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Memphis in May is getting ready to come up.
Yeah.
So, we brainstorming on what the schedule is going to look like, right?
Yeah.
And just looking forward to what's coming in 2024.
So you've talked about a lot of places that you've been. Have you got an idea for how many miles of North Carolina road you burned up last year? I mean, Kenansville to Hickory alone, that's a pretty good haul. But you're going to a lot of these places. How much are you driving and how far? Do you have an estimate?
Yo, I don't, man. We might do, if I was to ask Paul, he might give me a more precise number, but I'm thinking we might do 10 10,000 miles a year, just traveling.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's cool to be able to sit with people and we bounce ideas off of each other. We learn from each other. So to meet an individual in the mountains, over the mountain winery, over the mountain vineyard, I was rapping with her, and she's super awesome. She's innovative, and she's always thinking of the next move. Like, what other products can we produce from these grapes that we grow? Right. So it's like being able to see them, and I may be able to give some insight in a process that'll take them to the next level. Right. So like that's pretty much the goal for me. If I can help one farmer across the state and they figure out another power move, and it doesn't matter from the coast to the mountains, wherever it is. Sure. Look, I'm game, you know what I mean? But I just want to see the industry make it. I think the statistics is saying it's around 2% of the general population is of what's feeding America. And so to be able to inspire someone else to tip it in our favor where there's more producers, that's ultimately what I'm looking at, because we don't want to be facing an issue where there's a shortage supply of food.
That's right. That's a real problem.
Yeah.
What role and how important is your family to what your success and your farm is doing?
So the cool thing about the role of the family is that I live now through my kids. There was a time I couldn't believe that, right? So I'm literally dealing with a lot of the things that I didn't get a chance to do when they were younger. I'm trying to do it now. Like last Friday, I went to lunch with Squirrel at her job. I had never been to my daughter's job and eaten lunch with her. So we went to Bahama Breeze, downtown Raleigh. Yeah. I'm like, yo, let's get it. Boo, 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 boo. And she's like, you're here. And like everybody's geeking out.
Well, did she sit down and eat with you, or did she have to come and work? Or both?
So it was pretty much like, all right, Dad, you got 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, cool. She was like, okay, you got 15 minutes. I was like, for real? She was like, yo, Dad, you got 5 minutes. We got to go. And I was like, oh my God.
She's on the job.
Yeah, she's grinding, man. Super proud of the kids.
Yeah, but outside that, you got family that supports you in the farm too. You referenced the boss lady, and I know Paul's kind of the extended media family.
Yes. Well, it's like, so with the team, those that have helped us arrive at this moment we're at now, I try to keep them with me. I feel like when it comes to the success, the only way it's successful for me is that they're able to experience it as well, right? Yeah. Because it's no fun if I'm talking about, yo, we just took this flight, we're going to Dubai. And it was just me. So it's like anywhere that I can take the team, we go on the road, it's like, yo, they experience it. I try to tell them 1,000,000 times, thank you for everything that they do. Yeah. And they be clowning. My mom and dad, they always look now and they're like, dude, we're proud of you. And I think with them, so being 89 and 87, today is Dad's birthday, by the way, right? So he's 89 today. Well, he can't travel on planes like he used to, right? But being able to show him what we did, so showing him the videos, the YouTube channels, the catalog, he's looking and he's like, bro, I'm proud of you. I'm like, dude, it's hard to get his approval.
Sure, like any dad.
Yo, you feel me? So it's like when you get that, it's like, okay, this is major. And I'm pointed in the right direction when I get his approval. So it's like, okay, let's do that again. Let's figure it out.
So he's living a little vicariously through you. And at the same time, like you're doing with your own young people, he's getting to experience it, without kind of being there, right? He gets to enjoy it as well. All right. You've been very generous with your time. Had a lot of good talk and conversation here. I got to get into some nitty gritty here, secrets. What is your favorite barbecue restaurant?
Oh, wow.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one of my favorites. Okay, so before I even say this, everybody's doing an amazing job in the restaurant scene. Just for the record, one of my favorites thus far has been on John G's. Yeah. And it's only been because Garen, he's been such an awesome friend prior to all we've been able to do. Can I name two?
Name it.
Hey, okay. So look, and my other one. So I'm a big fan of Keith Hennis. This dude is turned up. I love everywhere that he goes. We're there. We get together. Like his energy is popping, man. So I really love it. Can I name one more? Okay, never mind.
Name it. We want to hear it, because if I haven't met him, I need to meet him. And I'm so proud to also know Garen, and we've had John G on the show back in the Pitmaster. Look forward to seeing him at the festival. And it won't surprise you, a lot of the people that we talked to also mention Garen and John G. And after they say that, the next thing they say is, he's been such a good help. He's been such a good friend. And it sounds like that's all the Pitmasters, right? It's not just him, but it's also, Keith and who you're getting ready to mention now.
Bro, well, it's like just seeing seeing their growth, right? The first time I met Elliot Moss,
Yeah.
bro, I flipped because he's like a celebrity, right? High profile, love it. Brandon Shepard, I love where he started, humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Where he's at now. Aaron Franklin, big fan, just
Sure.
because of him taking out time, signing books, and allowing us to bounce ideas. So I love like the barbecue community, bro. Next level, man. You have some titans in the barbecue scene, bro.
They're titans and they're celebrities, but they're all pretty down to earth like Ronald.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They down to earth. They down to earth. But it's like, bro, they're the deal. Oh, my dude Jake. So Lawrence Barbecue.
Yeah, man.
Hey, bro. Yo, Lawrence, my man Jake Woods, he's major, heavy hitting. I love his energy. I look forward to seeing what he's coming up with. His imagination is crazy.
Definitely.
I love it, man.
Yeah, they got something cool there at the Research Triangle. We've had him on the podcast talking about some of the things, the tacos he does and the breakfast he does. And he's got some cool stuff happening.
Yo, well, see, Jake is cool because he live on the edge with it, man.
Yeah, he pushes it. He pushes the edge.
So-
He's not on the edge. He's finding new edges out there.
Yes. Jake, love what you're doing, bro.
Yeah,
You
okay.
killing it, Mike.
Here it is, low and slow showdown. And I know you've been through this before, but I've got some new ones for you. So I've got some curveballs I'm going to throw at you.
All right.
Some of the regulars, I'm going to throw you some curveballs too. And I know the answers to some of them, like gas, charcoal, pellets, or wood.
So I got to stand with the charcoal just because of, it's like each time with the charcoal, I think that we've done the best we can do. Something new pops off and it's like, oh, wow. So the charcoal, hands down.
Do you feel like you get the same flavor with the charcoal as you would using oak or hickory or pecan or one of those things? Again, I love charcoal, but how do you still get the wood flavor?
Well, I'll give you some insight on something we just tried. We started using some cherry wood, and we were running the cherry wood on one of the hot cookers. So Grill Billy's in Wendell is the ones that told me about it. They were like, bro, you need to try this. Bro, we did it with the ribs. We did it with the ribs. We tried it with the Wagyu burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So if I'm going to run a close second, I'm going to say the cherry wood. I really love it.
Yeah.
That we got from
There's
Wendell.
nothing saying you can't use both, right?
Right.
Get the charcoal out there and then flavor it with some wood on
You
there.
can play the game. Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Oh, wow.
your favorite pork cut?
My favorite pork cut, and I don't even want to say the ribs. My favorite pork cut has been the whole boneless pork loin. I love it.
Okay.
So I like to get bananas with it. Shout out to my dude Chad Blackwater. So he showed me this idea about, it was on January of last year. We took a whole boneless pork loin. We're gonna say it's 12 pounds.
Okay.
And we trim it. And we puree it to where it opens up like a rectangle, like a sheet.
Yep.
You sprinkle your lemon juice, your pecans in it, some roasted pecans, a little bit of cinnamon, and then some chives. And you roll it back up, and you use the butcher twine.
Yeah.
And bro, we lay it on the grill, and we just let it catch smoke, right?
Wow.
And he's always said that whenever we cook it over the smoker, to put it in a pan, so all them driplets that render through,
yeah.
you can keep that. That's the sweetness. That's the secret, right? And you letting it go back over it, and then when you pull it out and it's done, so you cook it for about 53 minutes. Pull it out, let it rest. Let it rest for about 45 minutes. Just let it rest.
Yeah.
So now anything that is lost is starting to pull back in.
Sure.
It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
And then whenever you plate it and display it, so everybody that's there to eat, they see it and you start slicing it and it looks like a cinnamon roll.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a pecan
All
twirl.
the goodness on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody freaks out over it. So that's one of my favorite cuts.
Okay. So you kind of jumped to the next one, but if that wasn't it, what's your favorite way to prepare pork?
So, okay, my favorite way to prepare the pork, so I like cooking the St. Louis ribs with Aunt Shirley seasoning. So my auntie, man, so she has this concoction. So it's got a little chili powder in it. Like, bro, it's got a little garlic powder in it. It is like, pow, in your face. And so we go ahead and wash the ribs. We trim them up. We pull the membrane off of it. We go ahead and sprinkle it. We let it sit a little while. Like you let that sit for like, you say, okay, we're going to let it sit for half the day. So it's like to the bone. And bro, and then when you set it in the smoker, You don't even put the pressure on it. You're not trying to crank it high. You run it about 245 to 240.
Okay.
And you just let it, man, they let it do its thing. And the smoke is beating it up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after an hour, you pull them and you wrap them. And then you put it back in there and let it get beat up with a little more heat for another hour. When you pull that out and you cut, so you trying to cut it, you need a good knife. Mm-hmm. Because your meat coming off the bone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I love preparing that because I like seeing that process from start to finish.
Yeah.
You know, popping the pack open, washing it up, and then you get that finish and everybody looks at it and it's dry.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some things, so like with the sauce, you can get some sauces, you can dap it up and it may complement it, but some cuts don't need that much compliment.
Right.
You know, so that's the best, my favorite on how to prepare something.
Excellent. Well, let me tell you, Dylan Cook at Fork Grove Barbecue told us you don't have to take the membrane off. Now, I found that hard to believe. But he says that's what he does. That's his secret, and he'll stand by it. And everybody else says, no, you're crazy, but whatever. So give that a try sometime when you do it.
So when I was starting out, like I can relate to what he's saying because when I was starting out, I didn't know what I know now. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know I need to trim it and make it pretty for presentation.
Yeah.
I didn't know to pop the membrane off. So I just went on the edge, you know what I mean? But now, you know, just because of trying some new ideas and wanting to give the best rendition, I try to do all that I can do to give the best experience to those that eat, you know?
Yeah, cool. Okay, so your favorite sausage, loose or stuffed?
Oh man. So it depends, man. So like if we're making some dip, so the boss lady makes an awesome dip. And with this dip, she'll go. So I like the bulk, so the loose Italian sausage.
Uh-huh.
But the boss lady, she likes like the old school sausage that's super hot. Breakfast sausage.
Right.
And it's bulk, so it just breaks loose.
Sure.
And you stir it in all this Velveeta cheese. Bro.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta say, if we're making that dish, I love it loose.
You like it loose.
Yeah.
But if you have it stuffed, what is your favorite stuffing that's not meat?
Oh, dude, that's different.
Yeah, because you know Lewis is doing some stuff and John G's doing some stuff where they're putting some stuff in some sausage. So what do you want to have in there?
So I tried his jalapeno pepper, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy. We've tried this the cheddar cheese in the sausage. So like, give me a chorizo sausage with the cheddar cheese in it.
Okay,
because that's like. You know, you like a lot of times you can use sausage to actually season the entree instead of it being the main portion of the entree, right? So I think with the chorizo, some cheddar, like that's gonna be crazy because it's in your face, you know?
Yeah, good. Okay, so what's your favorite side dish?
So we've tried it a few different ways. Some of the successes we've had is like the summer pasta salad. So big chunks of ham. Some cucumbers and peppers in a pasta salad for a cool serving item.
Yeah,
a summer day. The other thing that I've loved, so we have these red, what she call them? The red cheesy potatoes.
Okay,
bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Because you look at it and you're like, yo, I gotta have it. You got chunks of bacon bit in it. And, you know, I live on the edge, so we put some Canadian bacon in it.
Right.
And then, and the reason that I like those potatoes is because when you plate it, and you have your shreds of cheese on it, and you want like 3 or 4 different grades of cheese, and it's melting.
Yeah.
And so when you pulling it off, it's real stringy. I didn't mean to go so detailed.
No, that's good. You can't go wrong with cheese.
Right. You can't go wrong. Too much is never enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Okay, so the best Carolina barbecue style, Eastern, Western, or the South Carolina mustard?
Right now, I got to stick with the East, man. So
that's okay.
But like I've been seeing a lot of cool stuff coming out of the West and the South.
Yeah.
South Carolina, like I said, so like Brian Furman doing his thing. But I'm gonna stick with what we're accustomed to, the East.
That's
baby.
right. You grew up on that. It's generally going to be your favorite.
Yes,
so
sir.
is it better sauce with or without?
So I'm loving to go without. You know, if we're gonna smoke a whole hog, you got it good and seasoned up and everything, and you just pop off a piece off the grill. Hey man, you don't always need the sauce.
That's right. If the meat's good, you don't need sauce.
Right. With the right smoke on it, yeah, you can't lose with that, baby.
Gas or brakes?
All gas, bro. All gas, bro.
All gas, no brakes.
We
right?
don't need no brakes, baby.
All right, so last one. It's important. Is barbecue a verb or a noun?
Barbecue is a noun.
And that, my friend, is the lowdown from the man, the Pitmaster, Ronald Simmons from Master Blend Family Farms. Ronald, thanks so much for coming to Hickory and being part of the Low and Slow Barbecue Show.
Hey, Mike, thank you guys so much for this, man. It was fire, man. I love it. Love everything.
Definitely. We'll have to do it again.
Boom.
If nothing else, we'll see you at the Carolina Barbecue Festival, April 5th, Victoria Yards in Charlotte.
Oh, baby, it's going to be hot, man. Make sure you get your tickets, man. Get plugged in. It's going to be hot.
You've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show on the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. Be sure to visit us online at lowslowbbqshow.com. You can learn about the Carolina Barbecue Festival and the other pitmasters participating in this year's event at lowslowbbqshow.com. You can also hear from Operation Barbecue Relief CEO Stan Hayes, as well as other pitmasters like Dylan Cook from Fort Grove Barbecue, Keith Henning from Black Powder Smokehouse, and our food journalist friend Hannah Raskin from the food section. You heard all the recipes in today's show. Remember, these great Carolina pitmasters will all be at the Carolina Barbecue Festival April 5th and 6th at Victoria Yards in Charlotte. Visit lowslowbbqshow.com for all the details, or get your tickets at Carolina Barbecue Fest, carolinabbqfest.org. If you like what you hear in the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, follow us and subscribe in your favorite podcast stream. Please consider giving our show a 5-star review, and hope you know that helps other people find us. You can also help other people find us by sharing the show with all your friends. Special thanks to Ron Simmons and the team at Master Blend Family Farms. Thanks as well to our producer Andrew Moose and the whole team at the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. Most especially, thank you for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Remember, for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.